Welcome to Unit 2 of Section 1. This unit is dedicated to marketing logic and planning. This is an important unit because it will enable us to clarify what we are talking about and from which perspective marketing operates when planning and promoting an offering, in our case, a tourism destination. In particular, in this unit, we are going to explore what is marketing, what is its role in tourism offer, mainly a destination, the stages of its MMP marketing management process, and how to implement a project using marketing plan and other tools. Let's start from the first driving question of this unit. What is marketing? There is a wide confusion about marketing between non-marketing professionals, we know. That is why it could be useful to start from what marketing is not. Marketing is not something to be wary of. That means the art of selling products, services at all costs, the art of communicating and constructing an illusory advertising, the art of manipulating and convincing customers. On the contrary, marketing is an economic discipline which helps to systematize the value you provide to the market, and this means an economic discipline that helps decision makers choose markets, acquire, maintain and increase customers through the creation, supply and the communication of a value. This discipline is born in the 50s in the US as commercial techniques to address excess supply compared to real market demand. More recently, important scholars and associations have provided their definition of a far more complex discipline that helps economic operators to face the challenges of the current market. Today, we can say that marketing means providing value to the subjects involved in an economic exchange, a transaction, so providing the right solution to a specific need, producing an adequate return. Now we get into more detail with the components of this definition. In this definition, to provide means plan, implement, communicate, and deliver the value through a product. The dimensions of this value are diverse. A product must have a price to be sold, work to solve problems and meet needs, be stimulating from the point of view of senses. This is the experiential dimension, for example, but also include intangible assets like beauty, aspirational value, social acceptance, ethical values, and also be emotional and let customer keep into contact with the provider or the other customers, and in our case also local community. So speaking of value means working on diverse dimensions but always in synergy. As for the subjects, marketing might provide value to individuals of groups within the B2C context, business to consumer, where the customer are people, or within the B2B context, in this case the customer is another organization. We might also have the case of B2G context, where an organization provides value to a public administration, so that's why G stands for governance, and finally situations in which the two counterparts are both consumers. That's the case of sharing economy. At the basis of the activity of marketing, there is an economic exchange, a transaction, usually consisting in a money expense to gain the property to the product or the access to the service that is for sale. Usually this exchange is formalized by a contract in which the responsibilities of the counterparts and the economic return are set. This slide provides you more articulated definitions of marketing, one from the scholar Philip Kotler, one from the UK Chartered Institute of Marketing, and one from the American Marketing Association. Now we should have a clear idea of what marketing is and what it is not. But what's the role of marketing applied to a tourism offer, in our case a destination? A tourism experience is the result of plenty of subjects who directly or indirectly contribute to its success. The combination of all these subjects is called the tourism industry. Marketing can support all subjects operating in the tourism industry to pursue their business goals, to provide value to their customers, to grow their business, to create, maintain and defend their competitive advantage. Tourism marketing is also complex due to various subsectors in the tourism products. The image represents the main subsectors in this huge industry from the point of view of the supply chain. We have, for example, subjects operating as producers, others as commercial intermediaries, and others providing support services. They all use marketing to reach their business goals. Here we have two definitions of tourism marketing, which highlight marketing as a process, mainly managerial, to analyze, understand, anticipate, and meet the needs of individuals or groups by providing the right answer, solution, or product to meet a specific need. The first definition is travel and tourism marketing is the systematic and coordinated execution of business policies by the both private or public and public sector tourism organizations operating at the local, regional, national, or international level to achieve the optimal satisfaction of the needs of identifiable tourist groups, and in doing so to achieve an appropriate return. A quite articulated definition. The second one comes from the United Nations World Travel Organization, and it is like that. Tourism marketing is a management philosophy which, in light of tourist demand, makes it possible through research, forecasting, and selection of tourist product services by suppliers to coexist the purpose of the organization and the tourist satisfaction. Another important question we should answer is this one: how can marketing help providing value on the market? To answer to this question, I introduce you the MMP, the marketing management process. The marketing management process is the business management process oriented to marketing. It consists of a precise series of stages and relative activities. The analysis, whose goal is to identify marketing opportunities for your company or organization. The choice of specific market segments, that means specific customers to address tour offering. The implementation of the value in the form of a product, which is a mix of diverse components, the so-called marketing mix. The first stage is the analytical marketing and corresponds to the keyword understand. The second stage is the strategic marketing and corresponds to the keyword make decisions, while the third stage of the MMP is the operational marketing and corresponds to the keyword take action. But what's inside these three stages of MMP concretely? Let's get into more detail with them. In the analytical phase of MMP, these questions may arise. What marketing opportunities can I find in the market of my interest? Are there any supply gaps I can fill? Where is the demand going? What are my competitors doing? Who are the market leaders? How can I stand out? To answer to these and other questions, marketing usually carry out these activities. They analyze the context, including both micro-internal and macro-external environment. They analyze the competitive scenario, identifying the best practices, but also the best strategies to follow. And they analyze the customer's needs, which is the beginning of each marketing effort, I would say. In the strategic phase of MMP, these questions may arise. What goals should I set myself? How can I reach them? What are the risks of one strategy rather than another in achieving my goals? How can I gain and maintain a competitive advantage over my competitors? And how can I remain my customers' first choice? To answer to these and other questions, marketers usually carry out these activities. They set their mission, so the reason why their organization exists on the market, set long-term objectives and link them to the medium to short-term ones. They divide the market into groups, that's the segmentation of the market. They focalize on one or more specific market segments, this is called targeting. And for these targets, they make the difference. This is about positioning. and they also set the right strategy to reach targets and objectives. In the operational phase of MMP, these questions may arise. What features should my product have? How can I offer maximum benefits by working on its levers, the levers of the marketing mix? How can I produce it, distribute it, enhance it, promote it in its life stages on the market? To answer to these and other questions, marketers usually carry out all the necessary activities on each of the levers of the marketing mix. The tool that supports the marketing management process from an operational point of view is the marketing plan. Let's see in more detail this document. The marketing plan is the document that expresses and supports planning and actions to put a product on the market. The marketing plan helps marketers in setting strategy, translating the strategy into actions, that's a work plan, guiding all the necessary operations to come to the final product, coordinating the activities in terms of responsibilities, resources and time, and keeping control over the action plan with respect to the expected results. I organize in a horizontal way the logical path of a marketing plan, which is made of 4 main moments. A first logical moment is the analytical one. Do you remember? The keyword was understand. Inside, we will have some paragraph or chapter dedicated to the declaration of the mission and the business goals of our organization. In addition, we will have some information about the internal environment, the auto-analysis on our organization or territory, for example, and on the external environment, the trend of the market, its opportunities. A second moment is about strategy. The keyword in this case is decide. In this section of the document, we will have contents related to the specific objectives of the project, the strategy we want to follow to reach them, and the presentation of the work plan. A third moment is the operational one. The keyword is take action. In this section of the marketing plan, we will have all the details about the marketing mix, so the characteristics of our offer. A fourth moment is one about control. Actually, control is active along the entire MMP and marketing plan implementation. This is why it is necessary to limit risks and avoid mistakes, introducing improvement and correction as quickly as possible along the realization of the project. So we cannot wait for the end of the project to measure or to control if everything has gone in the right direction. Let's now have a look on the structure of an hypothetical marketing plan document. On the left side of the slide, you can recognize the 4 moments of the MMP, while on the right side, you've got possible chapters and paragraphs of the marketing plan document. When the marketing mix to be implemented is a destination, things get more complicated, and this is reflected also into the organization of the marketing plan document. When treating a destination, there are some additional issues to be included in the document. You can see them in red color. In the analytical part, for example, it is important to analyze also the local tangible and intangible resources to find out the real vocation of the territory and select the attractors which might be important in enhancing its identity. In the strategic part, you have to translate vocation and local identity into a positioning competitive asset. So formulating unique branding and selling propositions, you have to set long-term objectives due to the complexity to your marketing mix, a destination, and the time it takes to be implemented. In the operational moment, you will have to take care to 2 additional key issues. The first one is the consensus and the engagement of local community in the implementation of your project. As a matter of fact, they are internal clients as important as visitors. The second point is about the mapping of the territory. The mapping of stakeholders to gain the necessary resources and knowledge and to set up collaborative partnerships is key. Finally, in the control moment, you will have to pay attention also to local community once again by measuring their expectations and satisfaction on your mix. So you will distribute, for example, a survey not only to visitors but also to residents. There are plenty of other tools that can help a product manager implement the offering. In the next slides, you have a selection of some of the most diffused ones. For example, the SWOT analysis is a static tool to summarize in 4 boxes map the situation of your project in relation to internal and external positive or negative factors to realize your project. The acronym stands in fact for S, strengths, W, weaknesses, which are the internal factors, and O, opportunities, and T, threats, which are the external factors. Maximizing the strengths and the opportunities besides minimizing the weaknesses and threats to find the best strategies of tourism constitutes the goal that is sought in this model. To be effective, a SWOT analysis must be referred to a specific objective, otherwise how could you select the important factors? Objectives must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. To remember that, you can use the acronym SMART. One last tip on the SWOT analysis model. The most specific and viable the objective, the more targeted the selection of the factors, the more useful the SWOT analysis. Once you've segmented the market, you have to choose your target market. A way of summarizing the characteristics and needs of your potential customer is to profile him or her as a buyer persona. A buyer persona is the archetype of the ideal customer we want to address and is a result of a set of heterogeneous information. We can, for example, collect personal and demographic data like age, gender, profession, level of education and nationality, but also behavioral data, social media usage, and digital journey. The buyer persona helps you to sum up all the necessary information about your potential customer and start reasoning on how to satisfy him or her. These are 2 examples on how to organize the information in a single tab. The important thing is to gather information that are accurate, synthetic, and useful. Another tool is this dial on the marketing mix levers. It is useful for identifying what to work on for each lever. In practice, it will then be necessary to go into detail about the characteristics and related actions to be included in each lever with respect to the final product, the marketing mix that you want to create. Practice progresses and theory follows with a conceptual systematization of the practices noted. If initially we talked about 4 marketing levers, product, price, promotion, and place, which stands for distribution, today the literature proposes 7 Ps, the 4 above, plus the process, for example, how I deliver the service or experience, the physical evidence, that is how I manage the places and the physical environment in which the product service is provided, and the people, that is how I manage the human factor as a component of value within the mix. Currently, there are not yet homogeneous hypotheses on the 2 other Ps to arrive at 9 Ps in the marketing mix. In fact, we are talking about political power, public opinion, partnership, passion, and many other options. Over time, I imagine that we will also settle on the taxonomy of these most recent levers. The growing number of the Ps in the marketing mix indicates, in any case, the continuous effort to add and create value in the economic exchange, working on aspects that are gradually relevant to the demand and which give manufacturing and supplier companies the opportunities to differentiate themselves from the competition. Another widely used tool in project management is the activity timetable. One of the most common tools is certainly the Gantt diagram, which owes its name to its inventor, although similar previous examples already existed in history. The Gantt is a visual representation of a sequence of activities to be carried out along a time axis. It serves to keep activities, people, and resources under control. The Gantt diagram is effective if it allows you to monitor the project progress and have an overall view of it, represent the sequence, duration, and time frame of each individual project activity, associate one or more resources to each activity, and evaluate and display any deviation from the times or allocated resources. This is really important. This is an example where we have a hierarchy of actions and their priority. The person responsible for each action, the starting date and the end date of the project, the total duration of the action, the level of completion of the action, and then the graphical representation of the sequence of action along time and their interdependencies. A very easy and useful open source software is Gantt Project. You can download it from www.ganttproject.biz. Fine, we are at the end of Unit 2 of Section 1. The unit dedicated to marketing logic and planning. This slide wraps up the four main topics we have seen. What is marketing? What is its role in tourism offer, mainly the destination? The stages of its MMP, marketing management process, the implementation of a product or a project using a marketing plan and other tools. I hope you found interesting and useful the contents of this unit. Remember that in case you would like to delve deeper into any of the topics we covered, you can find a wide selection of further information materials on our INCULTUM platform. Thank you and see you on the next unit.